Hello, welcome back. I'm Marcela. Happy and honored to have you here with us today. So what I have for us today is a fundamentals class. Basically, if you are a beginner or just starting your journey in yoga, we are going to go through those postures that are commonly seen in most of the yoga classes, whether it's a gentle class or maybe a flow or vinyasa. So if you want to get more comfortable, more acquainted to these postures, this is a perfect class for you. It is also for you who've been maybe away from your practice for some time and you want to ease your way back into your yoga journey, or even if you're an advanced practitioner and you want to just move your body with ease. This class is also a delicious way to go into your daily practice with ease. So with that said, again, welcome. Let's go ahead and begin. And so for our practice today, all we need is a yoga mat. Even a yoga mat is not a must. So if you don't have it and you have some sort of at least sticky surface where you can feel safe, on a rug, on a carpet, that would be okay. I like to use a blanket. If you don't have a blanket like that you can fold like this, maybe you can use a towel, something that can help us every now and then lift the pelvis if we're sitting, or support the head if we're lying down, or maybe under the knees. So that would be pretty useful, especially for this basic class. Often we get to use a strap or a belt. So something similar that you may have at home if you don't have a strap. Even a long scarf would do. And I have a couple of blocks here that you can use as well if you have them at home. If you don't have them, you can use also towels that you could roll to get a little bit of height, or you can also take a couple of very thick books. So that's for the props for a fundamentals class. And I'm going to go ahead and sit on my blanket. So already here, you'll notice that by sitting on the blanket, it allows the hips and the pelvis to come a little bit higher up than the knees. It allows to lower the legs in a way that feels natural to the body, and then it helps us to kind of keep the natural curve on the lumbar spine. All of this is a good beginning for your practice. And so once you find a comfortable seat, whether you sit with your legs crossed on what is called Savasana, or you may want to sit maybe on a cushion, just make your way onto your mat, seated with your spine straight, the best way possible. Now we're going to rest the hands on our lap, allow ourselves to close the eyes. Now if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can just leave your eyelids lightly opened and find a kind of steady focus point for your eyes, preferably under your nose. That just allows us to stay more focused. And begin bringing your awareness to the breath. The breath is like the easiest way to connect to the body. The very first thing that we want to begin to practice is to stay present in breath. And just we do that one breath at a time, so notice your inhale. And notice when you exhale. When you inhale, maybe the length, the temperature of your inhale. When does the exhale begin? And does it also have a temperature? How long does it take to empty through the exhale? And keep connecting to the breath with your attention, one breath at a time. And so the breath is something that is part of us. It's not something that we have to get somewhere else. And beginning to practice the focus on the breath every single time we sit It's like strengthening a muscle of awareness. And so we stay here just for a few more breaths. Notice what you may be feeling, and whatever you may be feeling, let it be part of this focus on the breath. Allowing yourself to know that everything's okay as you sit here. There's nothing that needs to change right this moment. You don't need to go into the past. You don't need to go into what needs to happen in the near future. Even if your whole soul is telling you that that's what needs to happen. Just keep allowing yourself to stay here, one breath at a time. What you could do is maybe just for a few moments as we focus on the breath, is to recognize within yourself your why. What is an intention you have to practice yoga? Just whatever it may be. You just want to make a short connection to it. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and take our hands together in front of the heart. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Maybe you lift your chin lightly, your chest a little bit up towards the skies. Eyes are closed. And when you're ready for your exhale, begin to bow down towards heart center. Letting your head drop lightly, still soft on your eyelids. Connecting here with one another. Let's come back up. Inhale. And release the hands onto your lap. Begin to blink your eyes open until you're ready to let all that light come back into your eyes. Beautiful. So that was already kind of a tiny little meditation. Focus on breath. Now we're going to step into what is the Ujjayi breath. When we practice yoga, the Ujjayi breath is also well known as, for some people, like the yoga breath. Or you may have heard the victorious breath. So it's almost like the sound of the ocean. It's a very, very subtle sound of your breath. It doesn't go fast. It itself finds its regular pace, but you do go onto a little bit of an embrace on the back of your throat to allow that sound to come into your room, into your surroundings. So let's go ahead and try breathing in and out through the nose. We inhale. And at your own tempo, you exhale through the nose. Now notice as you inhale, if you can bring the breath down to your lower belly first, to the ribs, to the chest. And then exhale fully. Now, as if you're emptying a glass of water from the top of your chest to your navel, to your lower belly. And now, as if you're filling that glass of water, inhale. And exhale. And we're going to stay with the Ujjayi breath the best you can. Inhale. And exhale fully. Still with Ujjayi breath, we're going to begin moving. So lean over to your side. Remove your blanket, but just keep it close by. We may need it a little bit later. Coming onto your hands and knees. The knees somewhere under your hips, parallel to one another, and the wrists of your hands somewhere under your shoulders. Lengthen the spine. And go ahead and as you inhale, lift your tailbone. Drop your belly. Chest forward, and then your gaze up. Full inhale. With the exhale, we're going to lower the tailbone, right? Arch your back, so pull your navel in, round your upper back, and bring your chin to chest and your gaze in between your legs. Let's continue a few more times. This is a cat-cow. So as we lift the tailbone, chest forward and up and gaze up, we go for a cow. And then think of a cat. Just going for lots of space, exhale. A few more times, inhale. And then exhale, you're going to round your back. Still feel your palms grounding, lots of space in between your fingers. One more inhale. Notice how you're using all your spine. That's what we use this pose for mostly, to warm up, create undulations, connect to the spine. Now come onto a neutral position. Excellent. So try to settle here. Bring the big toes to touch. Open your knees wide and lower your hips down toward the heels. So make your hips heavy and begin to walk your hands forward. So you drop the hips onto your heels, heavy, and stretch your arms forward. Then you lower the forehead onto the earth or maybe onto your block. And notice that, yes, if this is your very first child's pose, it could be a little bit of a challenge recognizing which places of your body will let go. Maybe there's some resistance. Make it all part of the experience. It's okay. Let's look forward. Inhale. And on the exhale, come back up to where we came from, all fours. Knees come back to parallel to one another. Hands under the shoulders. Good. And begin to walk your hands in toward the knees. Now with an option to sit on your heels, on your feet, or come back onto a cross-legged position. So just for a change, so you can see the difference, I'm going to sit on my heels. So now here, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up and over the head. Lengthen your spine and go as long as you can. And with the exhale, we're going to lower left hand down, keep your right arm up and bend over to the side. So one of the things we want to practice in this fundamentals class is all the directions the body can go. So right now we stay on this side bend. Kindly push your hips over towards the right for one more breath, exhaling here. And go ahead and inhale, lengthen. Reach that right arm up, and exhale, lower your right arm down. Changing sides, inhaling left arm up. And listen, with the exhale, bend over now to your right. So we want to find the length. The body can lengthen and the body can bend over to the side. Push your hips lightly over to the left, maybe giving yourself even more space to keep bending. And then on your next exhale, press, and then come back up, lengthen high up. With your exhale, lower your left arm down. Good. Now you can still stay here. Anytime you need to change your seat, go ahead and do that. Now the body can also rotate. So we're going to do upper body rotations. Going to bring the left arm behind us, whether it can touch the earth or maybe place your hand on your lower back. And lengthen here your spine first. With the exhale, slowly begin to turn and twist from the navel up towards your left. And the right arm comes to the outer side of your leg. So check it out here. You want to try to have the pelvis facing forward as much as you can. And inhale. With the exhale, come back to center. Release your hand. Now let's bring that right arm behind us on the lower back or touching the ground. It all depends on the length of the arm. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And now this time moving over to the opposite side. This time it's a rotation again. The left hand to the outer side of your knee so we can keep the lower body facing forward. Stay here a couple of breaths and trying to open your collarbones and level your shoulders. Take an inhale, and with the exhale, slowly make your way back to center, not noticing how your body now has gone through a side bend and through a rotation. Give yourself a moment to feel how that sensation feels in your body. So let's go for a forward fold. Adjust your seat if you need to. Inhaling this time, both arms up and over the head, reach high up. And with the exhale, from the hips down, hinge and reach forward, forward, until hands come down. You can lower your gaze, drop your belly as far as it will take you, and rest your gaze down. At the same time, you're lightly pushing your hips away from the knees. And now go ahead and inhale. Gently walk your hands in so that you can come back up. Let's lean over to the side and swing the feet right in front of us. So we'll try a little bit of a back bend. I just turn to different sides. You don't need to do the same, just so that you can see me from that perspective. So both feet are flat on the ground, hands behind us. And we go ahead and inhale and begin to push your navel forward and chest up, shoulders back, gaze up. And on your exhale, just come back to neutral. Inhale again. So this is a back bend. Try to keep your tailbone reaching back. Exhale one more time, coming back to neutral, letting go. And one last one, inhale. See now if you can keep the shoulders down and have the shoulder blades come close together. So those angel wings on our upper back. And then press lightly with the hands, come back to center. And let go. Beautiful. If you felt something on your wrist, just shake them. There's a lot of work on the hands and wrists in yoga, so you're already starting to feel it. You can open your hands and make fists. Yes. Then, turning back over, simply transitioning onto all fours. Then we allow ourselves to come up onto a kneeling position. We're gonna, if you need support for your knees, get your blanket, place it right under your knees. We're gonna step the right foot over to the side and keep the left knee bent. Try to lengthen here as if you're standing on both feet. So trying to find a nice upright position for the upper body. We're gonna keep the right hand down, reach your left arm up, inhale, and on your exhale, bend over to your right. Take one last exhale here. Maybe you can land stronger on the sole of your right foot. And with the inhale, come back up, reach that arm up. All right, lower your left arm down. Now, if you have your block close by, we're gonna stay with that right leg open and bring the block over onto the left side of the leg. You can use any setting that you like, the low, the middle, or the high setting. So keep it right next to it so that you can start bending over to the left side now, left hand down, gonna reach the right arm up. Good. And inhale here. Slowly come back up. Nicely done. This time let's step that right foot in, take your block over to the other side for later, and then the left foot opens, the whole leg opens. You can point your toes to the side or a little bit more inwards. Check in with your knee what feels appropriate. Now we reach the right arm up, inhale. With the exhale, slowly begin to bend over to your left. So your body is already warming up here, understanding the different directions it's going into. And you want to use your navel. Notice where you can use some of the inner strength. Come back up on your inhale, and on the exhale, lower your arm. So we're gonna keep this left leg where it is, have the block over onto your side to the height that you need to. Maybe you don't even need a block, it's different for everyone. Land here on a side bend, and we reach the left arm up. So reach high up, inhale, and on the exhale, come back up. And now we do step the left leg in. Let's crawl the toes under and come onto a sit just for a moment. Transitions, a big part of our practice that get overseen. So if you're doing this fundamentals class, I commend you to notice every time you change from a posture to another, to notice the effects in your body, what you're feeling, and where you are right here and now. Not as long as now, but just to make the point. We have been sitting, curling the toes under, so we may need to give it a little bit of a tap here to release the intensity. Tuck your toes under. Let's begin to walk the hands in toward the knees. Push against the earth. Lightly come onto a squat. Still the hands down onto the earth. Let's reach the hips up for a forward fold. So bring your feet together or parallel to one another and let the crown of the head drop down towards the earth. Yeah, begin to find all corners of the soles of your feet grounded. And lots of space in between your toes. Hips reach up. Pull your navel in and maybe go ahead and grasp your elbows here to begin to sway. And maybe go back and forth. Maybe a few circles from your hips. Still grounded on all four corners of both feet. Excellent. Come back to center. Release both hands. Now we are standing on the tip of the fingers, or you may also be using blocks here for support, or hands to shin bones. Gently just touch, and almost like if you're pushing, lengthen your spine, come halfway up, and look forward, lengthening the back of your neck. With your exhale, back to a forward fold, release the hands down onto your blocks or the earth. And again, inhale to lengthen. Look forward, but still a long back of the neck. Exhale, once again, forward fold, release your arms, your hands, your head. Pressing through the legs and the soles of the feet. On the inhale, we're going to roll our way up to standing. Coming all the way up, allow the crown of the head to be the last one to point up and lower the shoulders. Yeah, now we are standing, mountain pose. Maybe big toes are touching or feet parallel to one another. Let's roll the shoulders just a little behind the heart and turn your palms forward. All four corners of the soles of the feet are grounded. And we try the best we can to align the shoulders over the hips, over the knees, over the ankles. And begin to notice what a mountain stance, Tadasana, shows how it feels. Keep practicing it as much as you can. Now standing here, let's reach the arms up and over the head. Gaze up to the tip of the fingers, maybe the palms touch. And exhale, lower both arms down. We're going to bend the knees slightly. Okay, so find a place where you can keep grounded on the soles of your feet as you bend the knees. The hips go behind the knees. Excellent. Inhaling the arms up and over the head. And on the exhale, we're going to turn and twist over to the right. Open your arms wide. Inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, turn and twist over to your left. Try to keep your pelvis forward. Inhale. Exhale. So these are rotations. Now we're standing. Inhale up. And exhale, turn, twist over to your left. This next time, as we inhale, straighten your legs, arms up and over the head. Gaze up. And listen, with the exhale, we're going to forward fold. Go forward, lower your arms, lower your head, hinge from your hips. Back to forward fold. Nicely done. Now we're going to inhale to lengthen just like before. And with the exhale, bend your knees slightly, lower both hands, and come back onto all fours. Toes are tucked under for a moment. Come onto your heels and grab your blocks. We're going to place the blocks in front of us. We're going to move on to a yoga lunge or Anjaneyasana. So we can lower the hands onto the ground or the blocks and step the right foot forward. So the knee is over the ankle. And we actually want to walk that left knee behind the hip. Keep your toes tucked under or point, all depending how much pressure you feel on your knee. But begin to kind of square your hips, level. The right knee is slightly kind of pushing forward. Open the heart as you look forward. Inhale here a couple more times. Yes, we're going to bring the hands over onto the thighs. And go for a full Anjaneyasana or low lunge, reaching the arms open over your head. Try to keep that alignment on your hips. Engage your glutes. And sink. Sink your hips. Let's take one more inhale as you press through that right foot against the earth. And on the exhale, lower both hands down. Yeah? Maybe we're going to lower the height on the left block, or even lower the hand onto the earth. Begin to turn and twist over to your right and reach the right arm up. Here, I want you to notice that right knee doesn't open over to the side. Try to keep it still over your ankle. Go for one more inhale. And with the exhale, lower. Come back to center. Grab your block if you pushed it away. Inhale, loop forward. Walk the hands toward your hips. Begin to stretch the right leg long. Hold on to your blocks or the earth. Lengthen your spine as you look forward. We're stretching that right leg just to the best of our ability. You can also keep it lightly bent as you get acquainted with the sensations on your hamstrings. The toes are pointing up. Inhale. And listen, with the exhale, we walk back to where we came from. Walk that left knee lightly forward and step the right foot back. Transition here. You now step the left foot forward. Both hands down to the earth or the blocks, right knee behind your hip. Begin to square and level your hips, look forward, open the heart. And also here you can already begin to sink if that feels appropriate for your body, for your breath. Keep breathing. Nicely done, hands to thighs. Gently push your left knee away. On your inhale, gonna reach the arms up and over the head. This makes it more intense, so go back to your breath. Do one inhale, and with the exhale, lower both hands back down again. We're gonna lower the setting of the right block or move it away from us. Right hand flat. Turn, twist to your left and reach the left arm up. Open your heart. Open the space in between your collarbones. Inhale. And with the exhale, lower the left hand. Get a hold of your block on the right hand for a half Hanuman or half splits. Walk the hands behind and lengthen the left leg. Inhale to lengthen. And this time, if you'd like, we didn't do it on the other side because it could have been your very first time. You can stay as you were or forward. Fold into this half Hanuman. In the yoga, it's the journey of exploration. So we're here to notice, to inquire, to ask ourselves what we're noticing, right? So we walk forward, come back to where we started, bring that right knee a little bit forward again, and we're gonna step the left knee back, coming back onto all fours. We're gonna remove the blocks, bring them over to the side, close to us for later. All fours. Tuck your toes under if you're not already there. Now, really feel yourself grounded onto the earth, both through the feet and the hands. Push and begin to lift your knees and have the hips reach up towards the skies for downward facing dog. Lengthen your spine here. Adjust your stance if you need to in such a way that you can lengthen the arms and lengthen the spine. But you can always bend your knees as much as you need to give yourself space. And you can bend one knee, go deep. Inhale, and then bend the other. Again, especially if you are a beginner, you haven't practiced much, but also if you've been away for some time, to keep the knees bent on downward facing dog is a great way to ease your way into it. Yeah,
Come back to center, downward facing dog. And we're gonna look forward on the inhale. Lift your heels, come onto the ball of your feet. Look forward, and on the exhale, begin to walk your feet over toward the top of your mat, toward your hands. Hands to shin bones or tip of the fingers touching the earth. Lengthen as you look forward, lengthen the spine. And exhale, forward fold. Crown of the head down. Anchor both feet, strong legs. Come all the way up to standing, reaching both arms up and over the head. Maybe palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Samastitihi, hands to heart. And lower both hands down. And lower both hands down to mountain. So reassessing here. Yoga is also the practice of attention. And attention needs a pause. So stay, mountain pose. Take your moment and check in with yourself. Yes, so a very well-known posture. You've probably seen it in so many pictures, even if you haven't tried yoga before. It's a tree pose. So of course we're going to do that today. As we stand on mountain pose, I want you to begin by noticing that grounding, that anchoring down towards the earth with a certain level of ease. So we have two forces from the skies and the earth trying to work together. So as much as we want to feel grounded, we also want to feel soft and light. And with that sensation, you may go ahead and grab a wall as a prop or stay standing here in the middle of the room. Go bring the right hand over to the right hip and then stand strong on your right leg. Lightly bend your left knee onto the ball of your foot. Let's begin by opening the knee, mainly the hip on your inhale, and with the exhale, bring it back to center. So just rolling over the ball of your foot. Inhale. And exhale, just giving a little bit of space to the hip. One more time, inhale and exhale. Now from here, our options, I'm gonna give you 3 options for today. You can stay here. This is already a tree pose. You're rotating, standing on the ball of your foot with support. Second option, you can slide your foot or help yourself right under the inner side of your leg, right under the knee. And for a third option, you can bring your foot to the inner side of your thigh. Either way, we want to find our mountain stance, even if it's in just one leg, and bring the hands to the heart. If you're using the wall, you're holding the wall on the one side and one hand to your heart. Try to see if you can find that lower navel connection. One more inhale. Wherever you are, on the exhale, release both hands down and bring your foot back down. So let's change sides. This time, left hand over onto your hips, stand strong on your left leg, all 4 corners of the soles of the feet, and bend the right knee. Good, on the ball of your foot, lift the heel. Inhale, open, and exhale, center. Inhale, and exhale. Every now and then we're going to feel we collapse onto the hip. Once you feel it, bring it back to center. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. All right, stand, feel that ball of the foot supporting you. Choose your variation. Maybe the same one on the other side. So open here, or under your knee, or all the way to the inner side of your thigh. Once you get there, find your stance so you don't collapse on your hip. Can you see the difference? It's a practice. And be okay with whatever shows. Hands to heart. Connect to that lower inner navel. Find a nice, good pressing of the big toe against the earth. Inhale. And exhale, lower both hands. And wherever you are, just lower. And then shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it here. Come back to mountain. Feel your right from your left side. Do you notice any differences? Or what do you notice? in your inner journey, in your exploration. Let's come back to the top of your mat if you're not there like me. Mountain pose first, ground yourself, and inhale, arms all the way up and over your head. Exhale, go forward, out and down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, both hands down. This time we're gonna step both feet back onto a plank with the option to bring your knees down, right? If you bring your knees down, we want to bring the knees a little bit behind the hips. See if the shoulders can stay over the wrists of the hands. If you are on your plank, either way, we're all rounding, expanding, the shoulder blades pulling the navel in. But if you are on your high plank, try to reach the heels back to strengthen the thigh bones. Let's look forward for one more inhale. And listen on the exhale. Now we all lower the knees, point the toes, begin to bend the elbows to come all the way down. And come all the way onto the belly. Arms to the sides of the body, legs together, rest on your one cheek. Now feel the effect of the weight of your front body against the earth to notice the breath. Just notice where it shows up in your body. And on your next inhale, we're going to look forward, all right? Have the palms turned down against the earth and lift your left leg and your right arm. I'm going to hold it here a couple of breaths, level your shoulders, and press the hips down. Nice. Inhale, and listen, with the exhale, come down. Let the whole breath out. And we're going to change sides. So both palms against the earth first, right leg up, and then left arm up, chest and shoulders up, gaze forward. Try the best you can to keep both hips down. We'll do one more inhale here, and with the exhale, lower, gently, with mindfulness. The asymmetry is important for the nervous system. But then we also bring it back to symmetry. All right, so both legs up, press the pubic bone down, then the arms up and the chest and the shoulders up. Option, of course, to keep your hands down. Always try to make your practice accessible to you instead of more than difficult than it should be. Inhale and exhale, roll back down and rest on your other cheek. Try and see if you can let go of everything. And center, chin facing forward. Come up onto a Sphinx pose. So both arms on the earth. Sphinx pose with the legs together the best you can. Forearms down, elbows under shoulders. Of course, depending on the length of your arms. And then again here, try to really ground your hips, your pubic bone against the earth. Begin to make your legs super strong, pressing the top of the feet, hovering the knees. And lightly, a sensation of pulling your arms in toward the hips. Open the heart. Keep breathing your Ujjayi breath. Notice how every posture has an effect on the breath, whether it makes it a little bit more contrived or easier. But we want to stay with it. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Roll back down. Let go. Rest on your other cheek. Wiggle your hips from side to side. And then finally, a little bit of a cobra moment. Bring the hands to the sides of your chest. Good. Palms down, elbows bent. Legs stay down, we roll over, lifting the upper back, looking forward. And with the exhale, come back down. Notice that the back of your neck is an extension of your spine. Don't move the head that much. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do one more. Inhale here. Just try to stay as light as possible on the palms of your hands. And exhale down. That's it. Beautiful. Resting once again. One more. Side to side with your hips. And hands down. Press. Transition. Just transition. All fours. Walk the hands in. Lean over to your side. Extend your legs long. So now that we're sitting here with an option to sit back on your blanket, if you feel especially you begin to round your lower back, get your blanket or your towel. Hands to thighs. For the purpose of our class today, we're going to micro bend the knees. If you've done this a lot, maybe your knees lengthen. But we want to be kind to the hamstrings to begin with. All right, now hands to the sides. Inhale. With the exhale, begin to hinge from your hips to bend forward. So we're going forward most than anything. And then begin to let go. Have your gaze lower and lower. Bring the hands forward and down. And your head down. And if it feels appropriate for your body, you can, of course, go ahead and lengthen your legs. You just don't want to sacrifice the lengthening of the upper body forward and down by lengthening the legs. As we inhale, look up to the tip of your toes and begin to come back up. Same place that we came from. Go ahead and bend your knees. Maybe just stay on your mat. Scoot your hips in and roll down onto your back. Land. So the arms are to the sides of your body, your knees are bent. And we're going to walk the heels toward the sitting bones. Have the big toes gently facing one another. Your heels are going to be as close as it's available for you to those sitting bones. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the tailbone. Arms to sides for bridge pose. Shoulders are heavy, pressing against the earth. The same with the soles of the feet. Then go ahead and begin to push your hips up. Use the soles of the feet to really help you coming up as much as the back of the shoulders. We're going to have the legs parallel to one another. Reach those thighs forward and up. Bend your elbows, pointing the tip of the fingers to the skies. Use your arms to press against the earth. Excellent. Go a little bit higher up on your inhale. Arms down. Inhale, lifting your heels. And on your exhale, slowly roll. Back down, upper back, mid back, and all the way down. Lower the heels. Have your knees touch. And wiggle your feet to the edge of your mat. Let go. Stay here or windshield wiper your legs from side to side. So a bridge pose is a nice back bend. It's the entry point for a wheel pose that you'll be practicing more and more in the future if you like the back bends. But bridge pose is a real good place to go to. Lots of strength will be worked with, lots of opening of the front body, and lots of strength on the back of the body as well. Come back to center. Bring the feet to parallel. Gonna pull one knee to the heart and then the other. And give yourself a little hug here, nose up toward your knees. And begin to roll side to side a few times. Nice, good massage. Come back to center. Roll your head and your upper back down. Release both feet, and now let's keep the knees bent. 90 degrees if you can, or maybe feet higher for more intensity, or lower for less intensity. Opening your arms wide. If you can keep knees over your hips, perfect. Inhale. And with the exhale, legs over to the side. Just hovering. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Let's try to keep the shoulders grounded. Inhale, center. Exhale, a long, deep exhale. Shoulders stay touching the earth. Inhale. Exhale. So now we're moving into a little bit more of up work, but working with the breath, pranayama. The energy through the breath. Just do a couple of rounds more. And next time, when your knees lower onto the right side, lower all the way down. Maybe move your hips a little bit over to the left for more space. Keep your gaze over towards the left or close your eyes. Let go. Let go of the breath. The final twist of our practice, a torsion, this time from the navel down. All these torsions are cleansing. Very good to re-energize the organs and stimulate from within. Now gently on your next inhale, you are going to pull your legs back to center. Realign your hips if necessary over to the other side. Lower your knees to the left or legs and turn your gaze over to your right. Pressing that left hip against the earth to help yourself come back to center, knees come back to center. Realign here. And give yourself one more hug. Make a little ball of yourself. And release. Both feet touch the earth. Arms to the sides. Stretch one leg long. And then the other for Savasana. Scoot yourself back onto your mat. Open your legs wide. Open your arms wide, palms up. Any props you may have close, just push them away. So on Savasana, we lengthen the whole body. Therefore, create lots of space on the back of your neck. Legs fall symmetrically to the sides. Savasana is the ultimate pose to let go. So that's the practice here, even if it's not necessarily happening right away. We're just strengthening the muscle of letting go. Letting go of the breath. Letting go of tensions. Letting go of keeping the body up like resistance. Just trust the earth beneath. And go to your inner stillness. If you have time and the wish to stay longer in Savasana, by all means, please go ahead. That would be the ideal practice, to let your Savasana be the longest posture you stay in. For practical reasons, I'm just going to say goodbye to us right here, so you can just pause the video and come back to the closing later. So gently begin to bring the awareness back to the breath. Long, deep and conscious breaths. And with that, also bringing movement back slowly, wherever it comes back, natural to you. Maybe roll your head from side to side. And center. Bend your knees. Inhale, stretching the arms up and over your head. Exhale, roll over to your side, supporting your head on your arm. The upper hand presses gently against the earth and begin to make your way up onto a seat. Head stays slow. With your eyes closed, find a comfortable seat. Lengthen the spine. And let's close together. Maybe you feel open to join our voices to the sound of Om. Either way, let's all bring the hands together in front of the heart. Begin by exhaling fully. Inhale for Om. We can all go and bow gently down towards the center heart in gratitude for these new beginnings, for new learnings, and the expansion of new possibilities. Namaste. So thank you so much. This was our fundamentals practice today. I hope you liked it. And let us know if you have any comments, some questions, whatever you may feel inclined to connect with us about. And so until next time, thank you so much. Take care.